What's good, everybody? Chris here again. Chris Goes Outdoors. Today we're going to take a look at my 2018 three-season backpacking gear list. Right here is the system. It weighs in at approximately 8.6 pounds base pack weight and should suffice for late spring, full summer, early fall of hiking in the New England area of the United States. More in particular, where I hike the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Without further ado, let's jump right into the gear. First off, right off the bat, we'll get these out of the way. For water, I will have two of these 1 liter bottles, similar to smart water bottles. These are Trader Joe's ones in particular. I do have sports caps that will be put on both of these. I just don't have them on there right now. Like the sports caps, you can pop it, drink it as you walk, put it right back into the backpack as you are walking. On the outside here, I also have what I will be carrying for water filtering. And for that, I will be having this right here. This is the Sawyer Micro Squeeze, which comes on their new filtration system, their S series water filters. I have been told that this will work just as well as the Sawyer Squeeze. It's just a smaller version, essentially, of the Sawyer Squeeze. So I'm gonna be giving this thing a little test run. I also have a 32-ounce Sawyer bag right here. This one is unused. I did have some 64-ounce ones on the Appalachian Trail, but I destroyed them. And I have a 16-ounce bag that was cut off so I can scoop water out. This one is gone the full Appalachian Trail and then some. On the outside of the bag, I also keep some toilet paper in a Ziploc bag. You want some quick, easy access to this thing, you know what I mean. I also carry double ply toilet paper because double ply is life. You're a barbarian if you use single ply. I'm just kidding. If single ply works for you, definitely go for it. I'm a double ply or die kind of guy. Right here we have 10 steaks in a Cuban fiber stuff sack. I use these all along the Appalachian Trail. I have 6 titanium shepherd's hook steaks and 3 MSR groundhog steaks. One of the groundhogs is extra. I snapped a couple of them on the AT, and I just like to carry 1 or 2 extra steaks with me just in case, which may not be very ultralight, but it works out for me. I have one of the Deuce of Spades trowels, works really well for digging cat holes. Weighs in at 0.6 ounces, and I mistakenly kept saying this was titanium. It's actually made of aluminum. So in this pocket too, I will typically have a thing of sunscreen in here as well, and a little thing of Burt's Bees chapstick. I also have a small little hand sanitizer, so I can quickly, wash my hands. I also keep a little compass in here as well, just in case everything else dies. I typically also keep my iPhone 6 Plus in its case in that pocket as well, right in the front, so that way if I need to look at a map or something, I have easy access to it. I also have out here at the moment an extra pair of Darn Tough socks. It's nice to have a change of socks. For my actual backpack, I used the Z-Packs Arc Haul extensively on the Appalachian Trail, but I found myself not so much using the actual Arc system. I found myself pulling it flat most of the time, so it was just right up against my back. So I decided to get a little bit lighter with it, and I picked up one of these. This is the Z-Packs Nero, and I've kind of extensively modified this backpack. We'll see here, there's usually some shock cord on the back here, but I had some of their thinner yellow line, so I just maneuvered this thing right here like that to easily sit the pad. And I attached a little drawstring toggle thing right here, so that way you can open and close it and tighten it as you may need it. So I also didn't really care for the compression system they had on this backpack. It connected from here to here and then up to the roll top and snapped in, so it was kind of like the closure and compression system. So I took a bit of that line and put another little toggle on there as well so I can cinch down if I had something, say a trekking pole up on here, and I just completely removed that little compression system. So I ended up using the little line that was connected up here. So I took that shock cord off the side and kind of fastened it with these little clips that I bought at the time I ordered the bag from Z-Packs. So these are hooked on with a little bit of line to a loop here, and they're tied off down here where the hip belt goes through. This will essentially let me hook something onto the bottom of the bag here, maybe like a sit pad or another piece of gear or something, and then I can just cinch it down with the toggle right here, and they're completely unclippable, and I could remove it totally very easily if I didn't need them for whatever trip I was on. And then for the actual closure system, again, there was shock cord that ran all around here. I didn't care that this backpack did not come with a strap that went over the top. I use that all the time on my R call to put a base layer under. I carried a bag of Cheetos all the time when I was on the trail like that. So I took that shock cord and ran it through the 2 loops right here on the top. So that shock cord goes through the loops up here, and then there's another loop on the top side here. So I ran both ends through here, and I got one of the little toggles right here so you can loosen it and tighten it as needed. And you can adjust this essentially to carry whatever you need. And the actual closure system, when I ordered those extra clips, they are the same size for the top right here. So I have the male end of one of those clips, and right now it's just fashioned on with a little line right here. If I do end up keeping the bag this way, I'm going to probably cut that loop, take the old one off, and then just re-sew it on so it closes like this. But the way I have it now, instead of it, you know, rolling down, and then they had the compression system that latched into here, and then you would cinch it down. I preferred the standard closing like my R call, so you roll it up and then it just clips onto itself right over. I can pop these guys right over the top of that and cinch it down, good to go. For me, it's just a more effective system. For you, I don't know, maybe it would be, maybe it wouldn't be. I just did not really care for the compression and closure system on the bag, so I made some changes as I saw fit. I'm using one of the Z-Pack's shoulder pockets. I find them invaluable for quick access to things. I also currently do have the hip belt on still, and I just finagled one of the hip belts onto here with the little line and toggle here as well. Don't even know if I'm going to use that too much. For a pack weight of this weight, you don't really need a hip belt. I find it almost more comfortable without one. The hip belt itself, I may ditch completely depending on how the summer goes. Right in the top of the bag, we have this right here, Z-Pack's Pillow Dry Bag, and this is storing almost all of my extra clothing that I will be carrying on the trail. Inside, we have a pair of Patagonia. These are the Capoline thermal weight leggings. Super, super light and surprisingly warm. Extremely comfortable too. I also have a Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. I have the hooded version. It's a down jacket, super, super light in large. I also keep very handy, and these things have kind of gained some some fun notoriety in the ultralight world. I have a Melanzana hoodie. I use this one all along the Appalachian Trail, and it's still kicking. Definitely one of my favorite base layers. You cannot currently order these online. You can only get them at their store in Colorado. That is supposed to change, supposedly, in May. Rain jacket I have right here is just rolled up. This is a Frog Togs rain jacket. Weighs in around 6 ounces in size large. For what it's worth, these things run huge. I do have some poncho options. I have one that should be here in a couple days that I'm going to give a test run, see how they work out. For the most part, I'm keeping this around. I just picked this up. This is what I believed would be a 3F Ultralight rain kilt that I bought from Amazon. My Z-Packs one unfortunately tore when I was making my setting up camp and through hike in the rain video. It seems to be identically made, but it's missing the 3F Ultralight logo. So it's just a piece of, I think, 15 denier ripstop nylon in Velcro. We'll put this thing to the test this summer. Weighs in at 2.5 ounces. It's half an ounce heavier than the Z-Packs Cuban Fiber one. Food bag. It's the exact same kit I used on the Appalachian Trail. Z-Packs bear bag. I have a Totes 600 milliliter titanium pot and lid. I have the BRS 3000T titanium backpacking stove. I also have a mini Bic lighter in there. I have the Totes long handle titanium spoon. And then I got right here the Z-Pack slickline and carabiner. At some point this summer, I may also try to go no cook. For sleeping pad, I changed this up a little bit from my Appalachian Trail sleeping pad. I will be using the Thermarest NeoAir X-Lite. I did a couple videos on this. I picked this pad in particular up. It was the long wide version at an REI garage sale. I have cut it down and resealed it. It hits right below my knee. I believe it weighs in at the same weight as the regular Thermarest NeoAir X-Lite. I slept fine on the regular one, but I want to see if a wider, shorter one will be equally sufficient. This is my electronics and first aid kit. In here I have a Black Diamond Storm headlamp, my Revolt that I had on the AT unfortunately no longer recharges batteries. I have the same 13,000 milliamp hour battery that I used on the Appalachian Trail as well. So as far as first aid goes, I'm not going to run through everything, but I have some gauze in there, some medical tape, a bunch of random pills, Benadryl, Imodium, Motrin, aspirin, and some cold medicine. I learned that the hard way on the Appalachian Trail. Carry some cold medicine, a couple bandages, some gauze, a little bit of Uco tape. It's great for blisters. I do have an extra Bic lighter in here at the moment. I have some rubber cement, and I do have a sewing needle and a little bit of thread. I do have a very, very small USB to lightning cable to charge my iPhone. As far as tent goes, for my solo trips, I will be using the Z-Pack Solplex again for all solo trips. This one is in a, it's a Sea to Summit Cordura fabric stuff sack. The Cuban stuff sack that I had for the Solplex unfortunately ripped to shreds along the top. Took a lot of abuse on the AT, so I had this one laying around, so I just threw it in here. As far as other shelters, if I'm going with someone else, I have the Gossamer Gear, the 2 that I would switch this out for, as well as the Duplex with the freestanding option, but I would really like to give the 2 a run for its money this summer. This is a Enlightened Equipment Revelation 40 degree down quilt. I believe it is 850 fill power. It is long, wide. I also have a extra long, wide 20 degree quilt available from Enlightened Equipment, the Revelation as well. So if it is getting cold on one of those days, I can switch it out as needed. No stuff sack for it. I just cram it right down into the bottom of my bag. It kind of fills all the nooks and crannies. And then the last thing in the bag right here, I have a trash compactor bag. This will give you a little extra guarantee that your stuff will remain dry, especially with a down sleeping bag. You really want to try to keep that as dry as possible. And one last thing, I will be carrying a pair of trekking poles as well. The Black Diamond Alpine Carbon Cork trekking poles. I'll pop the snow baskets off, of course, put the little ones on for the spring, summer, and fall. And that will do it. The entirety of the base pack weight itself, trekking poles not included, weighs in at 8.6 pounds. I will leave a Lighterpack link down below so you can see the weights of everything as well as the names of everything that I mentioned. I'll leave some links and stuff down below as well. Don't buy stuff you don't need. And that's gonna do it. So if you liked the video, please drop it a like. You can share it amongst friends and stuff if you care to as well. If you love the video, consider commenting and subscribing. It's greatly appreciated. You can also follow me on Instagram at Chris Goes Outdoors. All sorts of adventures, I'm sure, this summer. And until next time, take care, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.